Welcome to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster with John Kremer.
So we left it at February the 23rd.
I know, but there you say being a person is a total illusion.
Yeah, yes.
Well, that's the end. The end.
Yeah, we may as well.
What more is there to say?
Well, that's actually very interesting how you posed that question. Then there's nothing to say because that which is then what is emerging is unspeakable. It is before language, avant la lettre. It is where no longer language creates an experience, but it is what emerges before language can even make it ugly. So it is then what emerges is the unspeakable.
I think you actually said that at one point in your diaries that it's hard to talk about it. Again, you've talked about it before that it's language really doesn't describe it.
Yeah. So language clearly describes, but where the issue is that we take the description for reality. That is where we kind of confuse ourselves, or it leads to a wonderful confusion of the mind. That's where we get to live in an illusion and where we are no longer in touch with our true nature.
It's not just our true nature, but you actually said it in the diary. You say, how I define a person in my experience has nothing to do with their true being.
Yeah,
It's, how I feel towards a person is how I define them.
yeah. I think actually, since a moment ago we spoke about what has what has actually shifted in my diary. That in the recent diaries there's such an explosion of insight and discovery. Is I think that what you just mentioned is a true turning point in my understanding or in my awareness of being myself, so to speak, is that it is a true illusion. That is to say, I see with absolute clarity that this is a habit that I've never truly examined. That when I am with someone, or let's say that I walk at the airport, which is part of my life is to travel and to be in planes and to be in airports, there are people passing by or like waiting at the gate, and of course you just look around. And what I realize is that where the mind goes off in its descriptions of someone, I then assume, or there's an assumption there that I truly never examined, that then I know that person, like that person is that way. This person who looks in a particular way, or is dressed in a certain way, or is like on the phone in a certain way, there's an immediate knowing of that person. But what is there is there's an experience of this person, and what comes along is a description of that person. Where then I say that I know this person, and so like in the lull of just being waiting for the plane at the gate and just being with that, it dawned on me like it says everything about me. I'm defining my experience, the experience that I have when I look at someone. And then I take it for I know this person. And there's something about language that that kind of owns us in that experience of something, that then being the subject of what language brings forth as an experience, it creates an object of experience that it claims to know. Like, I know you. Well, you don't. You just have described your own experience. You've defined yourself being with what you might call another person or with the other. And then come to the discovery that true relationship, or that actually it then gave me the question, then what is relationship? Or what is real about relationship? Like, if my description of someone is not truly knowing them, the conclusion that I truly do not know a person. Like, I could say, my wife, I come to the conclusion that I truly don't know her. What I've been saying about her is all like to myself, or how I could speak about anyone who's close in my life. I could say, well, in fact, I really don't know them. And that truly opens up the possibility of relationship. Like, I cannot ask myself the question authentically, what is the possibility of the relationship? And so actually, then being is what expresses itself in relationship. So relationship is where being is, the essence of relationship is being. Because when you are truly, like, when you see through the illusion of the personal, there's nothing left. There's not even the other. Because what we call the other is always formulated in terms of our description of the other as a person. So then, in the domain of what is true, what is, when you take out the inauthenticity of how one lives life, so to speak, or you call things by its name, then what comes to awareness is that there is no other but being. The common reality is being. And so then relationship is where you are. So that is how I would like to respond to your question.
Thank you for listening to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster. For more information, check out louiskoster.com/talking diaries and subscribe to the Talking Diaries YouTube channel. Also, check out louiskoster.com/quiz and take the free quiz to discover more about yourself.